All right, guys, welcome to the Git Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds, for anyone that has a fandom. You are definitely welcome here. I'm your host, the most Will Buchanan, of course, the man to my left, your right, depending on your screen's flipped. The co-host of the show. I wonder what he's got tonight. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
If I go to Hawaii, am I going to be attacked by a shark or Ezra Miller? It's me, Joe Tonello. Every time. I get him every time. It's either that or pointing out the obvious. Pointing out the obvious in a stark white room, it's me, Joe Tonello.
You know, I saw the Moon Knight reference. I didn't even think about the fact of you going to Flash. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't even see it coming. But before we do get started, guys, we are a family-friendly podcast. At least we try to be. There may be some things that we might show that might have a little bit of language. Sometimes we might use a little bit of language ourselves. Some things may be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. Well, we might as well start with it since Joe kind of went for it. Ezra Miller, is he possibly with DC? Is he no longer with DC? I mean, the man has had 2 arrests inside of 48 hours dealing with the same couple, and DC has had an emergency meeting about the Flash. Does that mean that the Flash is still going to happen? Is the Flash movie still moving forward? Is Ezra Miller still a part of the newly revamped Warner Brothers Discovery conglomeration? That's a weird name for a company. But I'm gonna let Joe go with this one because I was talking about this in our Facebook group. I said if he gets in trouble one more time, that has to be it. I see DC cutting ties with him, but I also see the Flashpoint movie still moving forward just because they've got too much invested in it. But Joe, what do you think?
So the funny thing about this is this is a different couple, and this arrest happened hours before his first court date, where he apparently tossed a chair at somebody and struck a woman in the head with it.
Yeah.
So let's just say that the Warner Brothers and their sister Discovery, which is how I'm just referring to this merger, yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing Ezra anytime soon. I mean, they're definitely going to put out that movie because that movie is done.
Mm-hmm.
They want to recoup whatever loss they are going to incur on this, but we already are seeing this ties into kind of this because Warner Brothers is looking to, or the DC Warner Brothers is now looking for more unification in DC as a whole.
Oh, they're doing a complete overhaul.
Oh, yeah. No, they want like a Kevin Feige type. They want like a full thing. And my first thing is you're going to cut whatever loose ends that's going to damage your brand. And boy, Ezra Miller, you were just damaging brands left and right. I mean, thank God you hit what happened to you and Fantastic Beasts happened because you ain't coming back for that either. But I don't think Fantastic Beasts is coming back on its own either.
No, not. I mean, I'll be honest with you very quickly. I've never seen any of the Fantastic Beasts movies outside of The Secrets of Dumbledore in the movie theater. I thought it was great because I'm kind of a newbie toward Fantastic Beasts, but my fiance, who is a Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter fan, she said it really wasn't up to snuff. So I can tell because of the very low 73 million turnout that they got for opening weekend. So
I know 73 million was Sonic. They got 43 million.
Oh, correction, 43 million. Ooh, okay, never mind.
I apologize. Double check that. Let me go check that because I know it was 43.
No, I'll take your word.
Here's how I look at it.
I'll take your word for it.
Secret of Dumbledore is a lot like the X-Men. It's just a messy breakup between the 2 main heads of the film, and everyone's caught in the middle of it.
I just heard all the butts puckering up when they realized what Dumbledore's preferences were. And I'm just like, y'all are that hung up on that?
The man enjoys Women Appreciation Day. There is nothing wrong with that.
I just sat there and shook my head. I was listening to folks in the movie theater. I'm like, really? That's what bugs you guys? But okay. But yeah, I mean, 43 million is kind of a low turnout for movies that were cranking out anywhere from $80 to $90 million weekend openings. Sonic, which again, if you haven't seen Sonic 2 by now, you should. It is a fantastic movie. I mean, did we talk about Sonic 2 or did we briefly go over it, Joe? You remember?
No, we missed that week. Okay, here's the numbers for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, on a $200 million budget, opening night, which probably means either Thursday night or Friday night,
Okay.
only grossed $6 million. The first Fantastic Beast in its opening night only, this is not opening weekend,
Okay.
collected $8.7 million, and Fantastic Beasts 2, Crimes of Grindelwald, opening night, made only $9.1 million. So they have not greenlit Fantastic Beasts 4.
I don't think they're going to with these numbers.
Let me hit over to see the actual wiki, because the wiki will give me something of it. So the budget was $200 million, and gross total from opening weekend was $203 million, which is still the lowest grossing.
They're going to barely break. That's barely above even.
Here it is. As of April 21st, 2021, or 2022, Fantastic Beasts has grossed $53.1 million in the U.S. and 150 million are U.S. and Canada territories, but it's grossed 150 million in other territories. So 53 million for North America for opening weekend, still making it the lowest opening there is out of the Fantastic Beasts series.
So it sounds like it's not going to really have unless there's a resurgence in the next couple of weeks. It doesn't look like a 4 is going to be greenlit.
There's not going to be resurgence because the Wizarding World is happening over in Marvel.
Yeah, that is true. The Doctor is about to be in for all of us on May 6th or earlier. So fair point. But going back to DC for a second, because again, like we did talk about, Warner Brothers Discovery, it is the weirdest name. I cannot say that. That's
so
the name.
All you got to do for me when I saw that, now it's WBD, you just think Warner Brothers.
I can go with that. But they did
rename it Warner Brothers and their sister Discovery.
Yeah, but it's like you're gonna wind up seeing the Animaniacs song at that point. You're gonna be singing the opening intro at that point. But you're right. DC, they did talk about overhauling DC. There is talks of finally getting a script to Henry Cavill to do a Superman, because they said that Superman was not getting the respect that he deserves. They did even mention about the CW, which is of right now. That's still, Batwoman, Naomi, and Legends of Tomorrow may not. I mean, this is rumored. This is not confirmed as of this moment. May not be renewed. The only renewed shows that we have right now are The Flash and Superman and Lois. However, I did want to speak of The Flash for a brief second, because before we get into the episodes reviews, that because of the current run of The Flash, its ninth season may be abbreviated.
Yeah, one moment. Keep going. I got something's happening.
Oh, go ahead. So with the Flash going on, it's the whole thing about the ninth season being abbreviated. And I'm gonna be honest. Before we actually go into it, it's just like I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised with the way that it actually has been. I mean, when a show actually makes it 5 seasons, when you get to that 5th season, that's usually around 100 episodes, you've made syndication. At that point, you've made syndication. But as you go into 6th and 7th and 8th, the writing kind of pans out. I mean, the well itself runs dry, and the most recent Flash episodes really do not provide a lot of hope in that situation. Even more so that even now that they are considering an abbreviated ninth season, so it might actually get maybe 5 to 7 episodes instead of its usual 15. But keep in mind, the CW is still in flux, because you still have still have 2 other shows, or actually 2 other shows besides, 3 other shows besides The Flash, because Naomi has not been good. I've tried. It is a slow burn that never picked up. Legends of Tomorrow is literally a joke, and they know it's a joke, and they choose to leave it as a joke. And Batwoman, I had hope for, but it's just the showrunners just never got the hint. So we are going to see what Warner Brothers Discovery does if they can find a Kevin Feige-like individual. Snyder boys, I hear you already. Please, oh please, stop saying restore the Snyderverse. It was an experiment that failed. Now that Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to find somebody to helm DC the way Kevin Feige heads Marvel, let it go. Snyder didn't work, but we know I am still hopeful that DC can still actually put out great movies. But with your Flash almost being a question right now, 3 of your shows on CW are not doing well. Your shows on HBO Max are doing awesome because the restreams for the Batman are actually outdoing a lot of CW programming right now. So again,
I got thoughts on that now.
But I know. I was waiting for you to come back because you said you watched the Batman. You watched the Batman on HBO Max, and you said your opinion may have slightly changed.
Yeah, I watched all 3 hours in my home on my couch, and God, did I feel all 3 hours of that movie.
Okay, I gotta before we move on to the Lightyear trailer, I gotta ask what made, now that you've seen the movie comfortably from your home, what made you change your mind about your opinion on
it? It's not so much of a change of opinion. It's going in second time. Well, second time, and
Okay.
just like the first, now that what's the term that I hear so much on one of my favorite things? I can now see the movie with eyes unclouded by hate.
Damn.
And I didn't hate the movie the first time, but this is one of those eyes unclouded by like grandeur and whatnot, where I'm sitting there, it's like,
where have I heard that?
3 hours is way too damn long. This could the car chase could have been cut down. 30 minutes could have been cut out of this movie. I won't say any of the plots need to be cut out of this movie, but like scenes definitely could have been cut down. Like I'm at 2 hours in, I'm like I'm at the point where it's like, all right, this is taking too long. Fast forward 10 seconds. This is going on too long. Fast forward 10 seconds.
Gotcha.
The Riddler finally talking to Batman went on way too long. Let's fast forward this 10 seconds. Riddler's screaming in his cell for a little bit went on too long before the Joker dialogue went on. Fast forward that 10 seconds.
So can you say that just because you kind of had control that you could fast forward it, that's where it's like, you saw the fluff in the movie?
Yeah. Like I'm just like that. It says they said in Monty Python, God said unto them, get on with it.
You ain't wrong. Damn. You ain't wrong, but damn.
Like I thoroughly enjoyed the film. Pattinson is still a good Batman. It's very clear he's not comfortable as Bruce Wayne in the movie. It's just it's Long Halloween year one, and for some reason dovetailing into No Man's Land, like 3 stories, like right into each other.
But can we say it was better done than Zack Snyder's Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice?
I don't know. I never saw it. I just saw.
I
just did what most people did. I just went onto the internet and saw the Wonder Woman part.
Oh, you lucky person! You lucky person! Oh, it was a train wreck. Okay, I'll leave that. I'm glad. You said you dodged a 2 hour and 45-minute bullet. I'm gonna be honest with you about that. But real quick before we do the Lightyear trailer, I want to know, because we didn't actually cover this podcast, Sonic 2. I know you've seen it. I know I've seen it. What's your take on it?
Oh, I loved it. My favorite joke was the fact that the Smithers of the movie runs the Mean Bean Machine.
He did kind of make the scene for me.
No, his coffee shop was called the Mean Bean.
Yeah, I'm talking about his whole lines. That's just the line.
I like
the
that
scenes
the manual
that he were in, he stole it.
I like that the manual for the Egg Robo is an old instruction manual from Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing that they can really do now outside of, the obvious end credits thing would have to be Metal Sonic.
Well, I mean, I assume he's going to eventually be included. I didn't think they'd go Shadow. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Look, spoiler territory. I didn't think they were going to go Shadow. I didn't think they were going to go Shadow yet. I'm not surprised. I'm actually happy that they did. But I was expecting, I ain't going to lie, I was expecting Metal Sonic. I was expecting Metal Sonic instead of Shadow. Which, again, I'm not complaining about. But I love how they did Knuckles. How they included him. Knuckles was basically Drax. And I'm not mad about that.
He is Sonic Boom Knuckles, but a little bit more intelligent.
But I can live with that. Everything with him just, I'm like, well, this whole thing was, of course, with Sonic, for a guy that punches a lot, he said, for a guy that punches a lot, you certainly did miss. Stand still so I can hit you.
Like, he's not an idiot.
No.
He's just very straightforward and very unused to this world. Like, he was ready to defend himself when he thought Eggman turned on him. It's like, all right, you really think, these are stairs. All right, then.
I still love the fact about the handshakes. He's like, we shake hands. Your handshake is weak. I was like,
Now, my favorite line came from the final fight. It was like, your real tail's flying. It was like, you're really heavy. It's because I am 1,000,000% muscle.
I can't say anything. I love Sonic 2. I loved every part of it to the point to where I was like, I was like, okay, I see how they did the Master Emerald. I'm like, okay, so you went ahead and just said the Master Emerald was just a makeup of all the Chaos Emeralds. Cool. That is the perfect way to explain it. Because I was like, wait a second. How do we skip right to the Master Emerald without all the Chaos Emeralds being formed? Again, how they explained it was perfect. I can't knock it. At the same time, whoever did the one-liners for Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, that man deserves a raise because he made that trio work. And of course, with Jim Carrey, what cannot be said about this man? Jim Carrey is I don't think he's just like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, I can't see anybody playing Deadpool outside Ryan Reynolds. At this point, I can't see anybody playing Eggman outside of Jim Carrey. He just embodies everything that I think Eggman should be in the game. But we also do have another announcement about a Sonic game coming up. But first, we do want to go ahead and go into the newest Lightyear trailer that will be coming out June 17th.
Buzz Lightyear mission log, stardate 3901. After a full year of being marooned, our first hyperspeed test flight is a go.
Who are you talking to?
No one.
You were narrating again.
I was not. Just doing the mission log.
You do know no one ever listens to those.
I know that. Narrating helps me focus.
Ready, Captain Lightyear?
Ready as I'll ever be, Commander Hawthorne. This is exciting. A new adventure.
I'm gonna grant you 4 minutes to be off planet, but then you come right back to us. To infinity
and beyond.
You are clear for hyperlaunch.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
Buzz, that was utterly terrifying, and I regret having joined you.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command. Why don't they answer? Hey! Shh!
the robots.
The what? What is happening right now? Alicia?
Oh no, that's my grandmother.
But, Socks, how long were we gone?
Meow, 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 meow. 62 years, 7 months, and 5 days.
What?
I hope you're ready for action, because all we needed was a pilot
For what?
to destroy the alien ship. I have a plan and I have a team. Jarvie can take any 3 things and make them explode.
I do this, and they shave a little time off my sentence.
Okay. And what about you?
Well, I thought this was going to be like a fun boot camp workout thing. But it is not. Did I get it?
Pretty close!
I need the... You know what I'm saying? The harpoons?
Buzz Lightyear!
The probability of survival with an inexperienced crew is 38.2%.
Seems a bit low.
Mission failure imminent. In 3. Grandma always said she believed in you. 2. 1.
There was a big swirly too. Oh, I think I need a bag.
No.
Please record your last words.
Do not vomit inside the vehicle. Do not vomit inside the vehicle.
If you are satisfied with this recording, speak or select one.
To infinity.
Are you trying to get me to pull your finger?
Don't fall for it.
No, not like that. Ugh, sorry, it's a thing your grandma and I used to do.
Yeah.
Phrasing, and I do mean phrasing. I do mean phrasing, but the simple fact of the matter is just that was actually Lightyear, the newest trailer. That actually comes out June 17th, so we're not too far off from that. But beforehand, like me and Joe did mention, the Doctor will be coming in May 6th, so we're again not too far off from that. But the trailer for Lightyear, I'm gonna be honest. If my niece and nephews don't want to go see that movie, I'm gonna go see that movie. Just because they're giving a little bit more of the story that apparently when he jumps into hyperspace, he jumps forward in the time, and of course the story goes from there. But Joe, what did you think of Lightyear trailer? Does that make you want to watch it more, or you already got your mindset on that?
I mean, it's no Jason Alexander XR, but I'll go see it for socks.
Jason Alexander. Fair enough. But I'm going to dig that.
I'm still confused on how the synopsis from the original concept of this movie was just about, it's about the man that becomes an astronaut that inspires the Buzz Lightyear toy to, let's just tell a new version of Stark Man.
I can live
with
that, though.
I wonder what point in production did they go, yeah, that's not going to work. We're making this a new Buzz Lightyear movie.
How much you want to bet that the focus group was like, let's probably change this. They probably did a focus group on the original concept and was like, we probably need to change this. I wouldn't be surprised though, but I still dig it. But aside from that, like I said, that actually comes out June 17th. There was another trailer that did surprise the crap out of everybody, including myself, because that's what Marvel does. They like to turn around and shock us. And honestly, it had to be Thor: Love and Thunder, but it was done in a way that you had to know it was done by, I can never pronounce this man's name. Takaka, help me out here, Joe. Wakiti?
Taika Waititi?
Thank you, because the name alone escapes me. But here's actually
you know he's got a really good TV series out right now surrounding pirates, right?
Oh,
Our Flag Means Death.
Thank you. I couldn't think of this. I couldn't think of the show to save my life, but yes, I did. I am watching that. But here's actually the trailer for Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. And again, if you ever wanted a trailer with a training montage and pretty much Big Trouble and Little China vibes, this is it.
These hands were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace. I need to figure out exactly who I am. I'm going to choose my own path. Live in the moment. My superheroing days are over.
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky.
Remember what I told you? You ever feel lost? Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Not me.
What? Just listening.
I have so many questions. First and foremost, July cannot come fast enough. They don't have to explain Mjolnir. A reforged Mjolnir. I'm not saying Marvel doesn't have that ability, but explain. because the last time we saw Mjolnir, it was destroyed by Hela, which for all the people are screaming right now, Mjolnir is one of the most indestructible objects in the MCU. Yes, and Marvel said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do what we want. You're still going to watch. But I'll say one thing, Joe. I was tripping off the fact during the training montage, the hat said the strongest Avenger. So apparently he still had a gripe with Tony about that, which I still thought was funny. It's like, he's still the strongest Avenger. And then, we do see Valkyrie, which I guess now she'll be known as King Valkyrie. And they are going to see a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy sans Gamora, because at this point, Gamora is still, the Gamora from the previous timeline, I'm assuming that's going to be a whole thing with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming forward. But with that being said, I think it's still going to be, it's going to be interesting. But then again, the same guy that did Thor Ragnarok is also doing Love and Thunder. But what's your thoughts on it after seeing the trailer, Joe? Are you more intrigued? Because we saw a little bit of Zeus. We did not see any of Gore the God Butcher, which I thought was interesting that we did not show him yet.
I think this trailer is letting on more than what it seems, because I'm going to call it that we're going to get multiple Thors in this movie.
Okay.
And I don't mean in the fact that, Jane is a Thor, Thor is Thor, but we're starting to see different versions of Thor, because we see Thor in his Endgame outfit. We see Thor in a Viking outfit. We see Thor in his Terry Bogard outfit.
Oh, you went Terry Bogard? I went Jack Dalton from Big Trouble.
Oh, no, I went Terry Bogard. That man is doing CrossFit off the bones of his enemies. That is just a scene out of Fatal Fury 2, The New Challengers.
Come on, with the hair, though. I'm like, I can't see Terry with, half braided hair, but you know what? Now that you bring that up, it's a solid point. But I just sat there and looked, I was like, did someone show him a Kurt Russell movie and said, let's just make you that?
You telling me you don't think he doesn't let Blue Mary do stuff with his hair?
I wouldn't be surprised.
The man is a single father. He is doing the best that he can. Also, while being mildly unemployed.
But I have to give it to Chris Pratt for him. I'm like, the role. I also didn't think. Well, like I said, the trailer's laying a little bit more on than we know. I mean, could the Guardians of the Galaxy be a part of it? Could it?
I think the Guardians are probably going to be about 20 minutes of this movie, and then they're out.
That's what I think. I was like, I don't think they're going to really be a part of it. But again, it's one of those things where you just have to sit there and you just have to go, okay. I mean, I love Ragnarok. I can only imagine what Love and Thunder is going to be. And again, they kind of have, like I said, I see them having to explain Jane Foster becoming Thor, because that means that unless they are tweaking her story, for her having cancer and the fact that that position, I'm not sure they're still going to stick with that storyline. If they do, great. But I just, if they stay to form, I wonder if we're going to see Sam Wilson's character. If we're going to go to that line.
The way they can say it is when Rocket extracted the reality stone from her, she got infected with some sort of disease or something, and then go from there. It doesn't have to be cancer. I mean, it could be anything after the gem extraction, but we roll with it. I still think we're going to see multiple Thors in this, because they really did show a lot of Viking Thor.
Yeah, but I still dig it, though. I think it's still going to be great.
Oh, yeah. No.
But speaking of other trailers that we got, I'm going to let, before I play this next trailer, because Joe's going to explain this one, about the new Ultraman, because I am kind of lacking on Ultraman right now. So for this new trailer, Joe, before I play it, what's actually going on with this release?
So this is part of the Shin Ultraman, which is Hideki Anno's new thing. He's got this, what's a good way of putting this, Shinverse, where it started off with Shin Godzilla, which is looking at what how the Japanese government is dealing with Godzilla. Now we're going to be having Shin Ultraman, where what happens when the Japanese government deals with constant kaiju attacks, aliens, and a would-be protector that also has to deal with collateral damage. Next year, we're getting Shin Kamen Rider, which is what happens to Japan when evil organizations producing monsters and a man steps up with the same powers as the monsters.
Ah, cool.
This is the second part. Now, if there's going to be a crossover, I don't know about it because Shin Godzilla probably trumps Shin Ultraman and definitely does step on Shin Kamen Rider.
Well, let's be honest. Godzilla has the strongest plot armor this side of Goku.
I mean, not unless your name's Destroyer.
Fair. But anyway, here's the trailer.
防災庁より連絡。怪獣らしき不明物体が異動脱進行中。
家督隊専従班班長の田村です。
怪獣はなぜかこの国にしか出現しないんだ。
核廃棄施設まであと山一つしかない。
君の来訪の目的は何だ。
大気圏外より飛来中の正体あり。何が起こった？状況は？飛翔体が付近に墜落した模様。いえ、膠着です。対象物が動いています。
あれがウルトラマン。霞が関の独立グレン隊へようこそ。
バディは相棒と理解している。
バディは互いの信頼が第一。
巨人の行動には怪獣とは違う知性を感じた。
あなたが何者か正体が世界中にばらされている。
私と一緒にこの星のために働きませんか。
あなたは外星人なの？それとも人間なの？
痛みを知るただ一人で
Okay, real quick, Joe. Is it me or I get a Squid Game feel when he handed him a card?
I mean, you know, there are so many different ways to transform into an Ultra that could be a way, but I'm fairly certain it's that stick that woman was holding. The biggest thing for me I like is that despite this being a very high budget film, like Ultraman gets a movie just like every other tokusatsu.
Yeah.
But the kaijus in this one look like they're from Ultraman, but still maintain that high level quality of a like several $1 million budget. $100 million budget.
There were some scenes that gave a real Attack on Titan feel, which I liked. I liked from the camera, how the camera shots like from real far off to kind of really give a visual aspect as far as the Ultraman and then the environment around him. I was like, okay, that's some Attack on Titan views, but I'm not complaining. That was beautiful to me. I didn't get a release date on that.
May 13th.
Thank you. Because I was trying to look for it, but me trying to read another
in this.
So
is there anybody I would know from this? And I say that with only limited knowledge of Japanese superheroes.
I'm tripping off.
So the director is Shinji Higuchi, writers Hideki Anno. I hope to God that man is not depressed because he's kind of like the Gundam guy when he's depressed. Not a lot of people make it through a movie or a film. If you don't know who Hideki Anno is,
didn't he do Gundam? He did Gundam. He did Endless Waltz, didn't he? Did he do Gundam Endless Waltz?
No. Hideki Anno is the Evangelion guy.
Okay. Because I was trying to think, that name sounds familiar, but I thought it was associated with the Gundam EP. I could be wrong on that.
He has done. He did some voice work in The Wind Rises. He is the director for all of Evangelion. He's also directed Gunbuster versus Diebuster. He's done a whole lot of stuff, anime stuff, but I fear for the characters. Has this gentleman? So yes, the main character, which is Takumi Sato, he was also in Shin Godzilla as both a tank captain and I want to say the main character.
Okay.
He was in the live-action adaptation of Space Battleship Yamato that came out in 2010. I got that really good. In Shin Ultraman, he will be Shinji Kamanaga, and also the Ultraman. So this is kind of like a modernized retelling of the original Ultraman. Secondary is
No, I was saying that's not bad because I dug the Netflix version. The Netflix adaptation I really did like. So
yeah, that's an interesting thing. I gotta sit down and watch season 2. Next up is Masami Nagasawa. She is best known for being part of the Gintama live action movie as Tei Shimura. She's also was in Dragon Sakura, which I really got to watch. She'll be playing Hiroko Asami. And then finally, Daiki Araka. He is in Shin Ultraman as Akishi Ataki. He is also in some other stuff. He's in Gal Ranger? Who was he in Gal Ranger?
Probably a monster that we didn't know.
No, he was in 31 episodes of Gal Ranger. Futaro of Gal Ranger. Give me a moment.
You go appear into that. Well, you go ahead because I'm getting the Sonic Origins trailer ready to go. So go ahead. If he was in 31 episodes,
I think he's the Red Ranger.
Interesting. Yeah. I did not see that coming.
Give me one moment, just to be on the safe side. Of course, we're not going to give me just the obvious things. But yeah, so this is an Ultraman made by the gentleman who has written all of Evangelion. So, as I'm going to say later in this thing, get ready to pull out the folding chair of sadness and congratulations.
I got no words for that. But I got nothing. I had nothing for that. But anyway, we did talk about before Joe just killed me with that pull out the chair of I'm sorry. Woo,
it will not be the first time I will say that tonight. I'll just tell you this now.
I know. It just threw me off the first time I heard it. That being said, guys, the Sonic 2 movie wasn't the only thing that was coming out. Actually, a Sonic game has been announced, and I am all for it because it is definitely going to be a blast to the past, but it definitely had some upgrades. That is literally a shut up and take my money. So that was actually the trailer, guys, for Sonic Origins. As you guys can see, it's available June 23rd. And I'm going to be completely honest, I am all for it. Just because not only do you get to play the games, I always love when they say, play the games that define the generation. Do you know how many games defined our generation? Me and Joe are around about the same age. There's several games that define the generation. But I'm not going to knock it. I'm going to give Sonic its due. But Sonic Origins, I think, is going to be great. As you can see, guys, in the trailer, you can play all three characters. because I'm not gonna lie, I love Sonic, but I was a little bit partial to Knuckles. The fact that I'll be able to play him in the first one as if he's Sonic. The fact that they do include anniversary and regular mode. Now, keep in mind, for all those that don't know, there's this wonderful world called 16-bit, and 16-bit only allowed you to play on TVs at certain levels. Now, for a lot of us, we were used to that. We're raised up on that. That's how we play. But anniversary mode is going to kick it out to 4K, and I'm going to be really, really curious to see how that plays in 60 FPS. Also, with that being said, it is going to be available on all major platforms. So if you have a Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, or you PC Master Race people, it'll still be available on Steam and on Epic. No prices as of yet, but I'm gonna be honest. If it was a $60 game, I'd still buy it because I just think it's gonna be great. But Joe, what do you think of Sonic Origins? Does it get your attention or?
I mean, I was one of the kids that got to play Sonic 2 and Knuckles because I had the whole shebang. I want to try Sonic 1.
You had the crap. What was it called? You had Sonic and Knuckles where you can actually put Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 on top of the cartridge. You had that connection? Okay.
I mean, I just want to try going through Sonic 1 as Knuckles. I don't think you could actually do that.
I honestly don't know.
I don't remember.
I really don't.
I remember doing Sonic 2 and Knuckles because playing Knuckles is just like combining Knuckles and Sonic and Tails as one character if you get to the right height.
Oh, you can almost dang near glide. You can almost dang near solo the level, and I'm sorry, solo some levels, not all levels. But yeah, you got a point. But I'm looking forward to that just because it's hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sonic games have been great, but let's be honest. Outside of Sonic and Knuckles was kind of the pinnacle until Dreamcast came along and gave us a revamped Sonic game and really pushed the physics. Dreamcast, you were before your time, but we still love you. But anyway, it's going to be a good one. Another game that's going to be coming out, both me and Joe are interested in. I can see Joe going to be using his phrase again very soon. Xenoblade, I don't know what is it with me and words and pronunciations tonight. I apologize. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is actually going to be released and is also the trailer for it.
There you are! You monsters!
Cut it out! We're your friends here! Did they order you to destroy Ouroboros too?
The world, our enemy.
Even though we're being chased by both nations at once.
There's a reason we met. There has to be.
That's why!
Let's go!
Come here! I got something for you!
Right.
What is that thing?
You've got a real death wish.
Now, kids, you share a common destiny.
I felt her thoughts. There were so many. And then they were a part of me. How are you inside me? Hold on. Are we?
There's spark in me yet!
Hang in there, you're again!
Come here! Noah!
Mimi!
Let's get stuck in!
Yeah, will do.
So you can take that form via a strong desire or emotion.
Henceforth, all orders are rescinded. Eliminate Ouroboros at all costs.
That is my revenge. It's payback for Nimue dying with her wish unfulfilled.
It's a wild ride, this passage of fate. We got ourselves a nice little awakening.
Why is my name on here?
My way demands we fight. Come then, and test your mettle against my lance.
Nanana, help with fighting!
I've never used this kind of blade before, but all the techniques I can use with it are flashing before my eyes.
Bring it home! Finish!
The only thing that can change all this is the will of Ouroboros. You kids, and you alone.
Not that I have all that much time to spare.
But soon, finding a path that lets us all live, I will make that my mission.
I'm not gonna lie. I sat there and thought that was the first time I saw this. I was like, "That's an anime." Don't get me wrong; it's a beautiful setup. That was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's actually going to be released on July 29th. So again, not too far off from there. I am a fan of this. I admit it's kind of been a while between the last one, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that I've played on the Wii. And I'm kind of looking forward to 3, but I know Joe has a certain phrase that he wants to put with this, so I'm gonna let him say it.
I mean, I'm just like, if you look at the way those two main characters fused, they make AV Unit 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, bring out that chair of sadness and folding chair of sadness and congratulations, because if AV Unit 1 is made, then you just go, uh-oh.
I'm tripping off the fact that the word phrasing, not to bring back Archer, but I'm like, dude, the way y'all lines are going, it's like we're crossing into phrasing territory at this point. It's like, wow. But again, I'm looking forward to that because that's really the game release that we have so far. I know Joe is enjoying. Joe, let me ask you this before we get into the Moon Knight and the show reviews, because you're a little bit farther into Elden Ring than I am. Did you beat it, or are you still at a certain point?
I'm currently hung up on 2 bosses at the moment. I'm either hung up on the Void Being,
okay,
or the Valiant Gargoyle.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near you. I am nowhere near you. I think I got past the tutorial and got past the one guy that was on the horse, that I guess horse-like guy that's in the middle of the field, and I barely beat him. And I say barely because he was literally kicking my butt till I figured him out. And
I've got to respec a couple times, and finally I'm like where I'm at. I'm running a Moonveil Katana build, so I get energy beams whenever I slash, so long as I got magic.
Nice.
Like level 60.
See, I'm nowhere near you. I'm not even going to say my level at this point because it's kind of embarrassing. But I definitely want to get your opinion on that, just because of Elden Ring and the fact that it really is fun. I'll put it this way: aside from Dark Souls, Elden Ring really is fun. Dark Souls will test your patience, sanity, and everything else. And the fact of the matter is, they're making another one. But I really would prefer a Dead Space remake, but that's coming eventually. But that's for another day. But going on to the shows, because we do want to start with the good ones. We want to start with Moon Knight. Now, of course, we are going to be covering episodes 3 and 4 in tandem, just because we did not have a podcast last week. So I'm going to let Joe go with this one, because I know after watching episode 3 and episode 4, what's your take on Moon Knight thus far?
It's still probably my second favorite show. Like, it's a toss-up between second and third favorite show. Because, I mean, WandaVision's always going to be tops for me, because, I mean, that was just so creative and well thought out.
Okay.
But, like, it's a toss-up between Hawkeye and Moon Knight, because you're adapting just 2 really good, you're adapting a really definitive run of those characters.
Yeah.
And now in episode 4, you're switching writers from, I'm not sure who, over to the Jeff Lemire run.
But it was genius. I'll give it that. The fact of the asylum run, I will dig that, just because there is so much they can go into, especially with the fact of you see. I gotta say this first. I give it to the fact of how they have made Ethan Hawke's Arthur Harrow. It was like the way he had the Iliad, literally and figuratively, just see Khonshu as just out of his mind, uncontrollable deity, and it's just like it was. You could almost see him walk up to Khonshu's statue and go, "Checkmate." You can almost hear it. At the same time, I do gotta admit this: we did see a little bit of the Midnight Man, but it wasn't the Midnight Man I guess I wasn't expecting. But then again, it's Marvel. What we initially see at first may not be the finished product. But I was like, wait a minute, that's the Midnight Man. But again, I can leave that alone. I still want to know where Frenchie is. I still think Frenchie is going to make an appearance. I was thinking he was going to make one because we only have 2 episodes left. Moon Knight only has a 6-episode run. We just finished 4. So I'm like, the next episode, 5 is going to be the next to last season ender. So 6 is going to be over the top. So either we're going to see, which actually brings me to something else as well. But initially, it's like, well, are we going to see Frenchie appear? Are we going to see Bushman appear? Because Bushman is quote unquote not dead, and they still talk about him like he's still in the shadows. So it's like, are we going to see him in 5 and 6? And most importantly, when are we going to finally see the third identity? Because I'm sorry, say what?
We did.
Well, we saw Scarcopsis jumping, but it's like we know it's gonna be Jake. We know it's gonna be Jake. It's that, but they're making which again, they did kind of alter the personalities a little bit. I mean, Steven is supposed to be what Jake is, and Jake is supposed to be a little different. But again, I'm not knocking it because they're trying to make Jake seem like this flat out, everybody's got to die, no morals hidden. Because
you didn't catch the story, did you?
Say what?
Jake is the partner Mark was talking about.
Come again?
Remember when Anton was telling Layla that, hey, Mark killed your dad?
I thought he was talking about Bushman.
And then, then Mark says, no, I had a partner. He got greedy. He's the one who killed your dad. I tried to stop it.
I thought it was Bushman. I didn't think about the fact that that was actually Jake.
Well, yeah, because Jake's been coming out and we just don't see it because, all these, horrible, violent deaths have not been Mark or Steven because, remember, while they were fighting on the knife fight.
Right.
Mark is like, Steven, what'd you do? And Steven's like, I didn't do this.
Because that's what made me think. But don't get me wrong, it makes sense. Now you put it that way, it does make sense. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, you're going to talk about his partner. But I'm like, well, because I'm going back to the original story where Bushman actually kills and he prevents, he does cross that moral line that Mark doesn't want to cross. And I'm thinking he's referring to him. It didn't even dawn on me to think that his third personality was his quote unquote partner, which would make sense. It would make sense for the story. So I can't knock that. But
that's why he can't get out of the sarcophagus is because that's how deeply Mark has pushed him down.
Oh, but he's gonna come out. But I still say that Steven is. I don't know how Steven is still stronger than Mark. It's like for you would think for identities fighting over a single body, how is Steven at more times stronger than Mark? If you think about it, because even Layla was like, you used to suppress. He even told Layla, I used to be able to be in control all the time, and I don't know what happened. It's like something had changed to the point to where Steven almost gets to the point to where you see him fighting, which was funny in episode 3. Where it's like, I'm going to take over. You go from Moon Knight to Mr. Knight. And he's like, let's just chill out. We don't really need to fight. Immediate spears coming in him. Time out. Okay. Take the body back. That part was funny. But no, I do dig it. The asylum run I thought was really well done. To see Towerette at the end, I was like, okay, so he is on life and death. So I'm gonna be honest, this upcoming Wednesday is gonna be definitely interesting because I want to see, because this is all going to lead up to episode 6. But Moon Knight for me right now is it's such a crazy story, but it still draws you in. And that's what one thing Marvel, Warner Brothers Discovery. I said this before and I say this again. If you look for better scripts, go to Kevin Feige and ask for script writers. Ask. It will not hurt. It will actually help you. Ask for script writers because Moon Knight is very, very good. But anything else you want to add to that, Joe?
Yeah, we spotted King.
You spotted King. I spotted King after you told me. I went back and I was like, son of a...
Which means there is a King that is stuck in between life and death. So We don't know if this is him just getting there as a result of the actions of Loki and what's her name, or if this is a different Kang.
That also makes sense. For all those that don't know, in episode 4, the most recent episode of Moon Knight in the Asylum, if you go back and you watch the beginning scenes, you don't have to slow it down. Trust me, I already did it because I did this before this podcast started. If you go back and watch the beginning scene, you will actually see Jonathan Majors. Now, it's not a full-on, like, here's Kang. You're not going to get that, but you are going to see him to the point to where it's like, wait a minute, did we see? Yes. And just like Joe tried to do to me for this podcast, did we happen to miss him in previous series? I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but feel free if you want to. But no, Kang being in this does kind of make sense. I mean, Loki is prepping for another season. So I'm not sure if that's going to coincide with Tom Hiddleston's character. But yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in Moon Knight that simply you have to just go back and watch. But yeah, I definitely dug that. But thank you, Joe, for pointing that out, because now it's going to stick with me, because usually I'm an eagle eye about everything. But if you guys had heard me before I started this podcast, I would have probably had to censor myself a few times. But speaking of censored, Flash, I know I talked about this. I'm just going to go over it as briefly as humanly possible, because I did say that the writing has led to where the CW is going to possibly give it a shortened 9th season. That and the guy who plays the Flash's adopted dad, is moving on to his own series on a different network. And the only other person that really has had their contract extended for season 9 was Grant Gustin himself. All other cast members at this point were still in negotiations. But as of right now, it's looking like the Flash may get an abbreviated 9th and final season. But the reason why, because again, and me and Joe have talked about this, they kind of dug the well on villains. They really have. You came out swinging, in our minds, with the top tier of villains that you could go with. So when you've done Zoom, you've done Godspeed, you've done Reverse Flash, you've done Eobathon, you've done Captain Cold, you've done Heatwave, you've done Killer Frost, you've done Turtle, you've done nearly 7 seasons of villains. And the one villain that you want to do now is Deathstorm.
Again.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, they've already done Deathstorm.
They have, and I'm just like, and you are exactly right. They have, and I'm just like, you brought back Ronnie for this, and again, this goes back to horrible writing, and I just think that the Flash has ran the well dry. I mean, Iris's sub story is still all over the place. They still keep doing Chester and Allegra, and I'm sorry, Allegra is just as annoying as Iris's character is. And then the whole thing about Caitlin trying to save Robbie, but not realizing you can't save him, and at the end of it all, the same Firestorm Matrix that he has basically makes him Deathstorm, which again we've already seen way back on Crisis. I'm sorry. I love the Flash. Do not get me wrong. When it first came on the CW, I thought it was great. I thought it was magical. I thought it was a wonderful time for DC to finally get a foothold in the television side of things, aside from Arrow, before horrible story writing killed that. But I think what killed Arrow is now about to kill the Flash. And I'm sorry, I just think the Flash needs to wrap it up. That's just me. But what about you, Joe?
I didn't even watch this week's episode. I'm just waiting for... I think they only got 2 more episodes for this whole thing, and then it jumps into like a filler arc. Then we go into season 9.
Yep. That we do, sir.
Yeah, I'm just kind of... I just don't have the time to invest in it anymore. I got other shows I need to watch.
Well, what about Halo? Because I wonder, have you caught up with the most recent episodes of Halo?
No, remember I told you I dropped at the moment I saw his ass.
I'm sorry. I like when you say it. I'd like to hear you repeat that.
What?
I just had to get you to say that line. Just Just so when I go back and I cut this and upload to YouTube, I just need that take when I upload it. That's perfect. Thank you for that. Okay. I will say this. Aside from the ass shot, probably 5, the most recent episodes, probably the closest to a Halo situation that we're going to get. I just think, like I said, it literally gave us a Covenant battle that reminded me of Halo 3, and I thought it was cool. I do get the whole thing about Master Chief. These Spartans are removing their inhibitor chips. The Quan storyline is starting to get a little bit lost, and the Covenant is starting to take a back seat. And I'm wondering, because again, when I start seeing subplots that go a little bit slow burn, I get a little concerned. Because when they start slow burning, that means that either you're setting up for a great fall or you're setting up for a cliffhanger. But if your setup is terrible, it's gonna spell doom for the rest of the series. But so far, I think Halo is great. Also, if you had a chance, Star Trek Lower Decks, awesome. I was crying. Star Trek's Lower Decks will have you crying because that's what it definitely had doing to me. But for all those that have Paramount Plus, check it out. Joe told me about it. It's awesome. But Halo itself, it isn't a slow burn moment right now. I think the next episode is going to pick up between 3 and 4. But overall, I still say it's a great series to watch. It just needs time. It's like a good cake. It needs time to develop. But what are you going to say, Joe?
Oh no, Lower Decks fantastic. Picard's been really good except for this last episode.
I'm still waiting because I'm going through Discovery's current season right now, and I am loving it.
Discovery was really good. It's Picard right now.
It's in a weird spot, or is it just an iffy spot?
No, it was just a really bad episode. Like, there's a subplot. I have no idea why. I talked to the one person I can talk to this about.
Mm-hmm.
She agreed with me. Like, there's a subplot that makes 0 sense, and Brett Spiner could have been used so much better in a different position, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, this episode in particular.
Okay.
I feel like, and we discussed this too, like, they're slowly trying to move the current cast out. Because they announced season 3, they're bringing practically everybody in from TNG.
The original cast, or just or as cameos, or just as they're replacing.
We don't know. Like, it's super weird with some of the choices they're making towards the finale of season 2, and I want Picard's new crew to interact with the TNG crew.
That'd be interesting.
I don't want like Picard to go like, well, I know somebody, and then they planet hop and they're like, oh well, the current engineer Raffi, she's going to try to out engineer Geordi, and like, you don't out engineer Geordi.
I was going to say, out engineering LaForge, who literally kept 3 Enterprises going. Okay, you can try.
It's just one of those things where it'll be just like I said, just like John says, like, I know somebody, and then like, so it's like, this is the 8th person we've gone to, and then Picard's like, I had a very large bridge crew.
When you went there and see he knows a guy, I know a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy. Okay, no, I'm definitely going to check it out because again, I know with Picard having a 3rd and final season coming up, I already know it's going to be a good series. That makes you just want to go back and rewatch all the old series again from New Generation all the way up to Voyager. Really, I think it was DS. Yeah, that's right, DS9 then Voyager. Okay, I was right. Actually, no, Enterprise. Enterprise was the last series. Yeah, that's right. Enterprise last series. But anyway, but that's all I got on my side. So what do you got, Joe?
Young Justice was really good this episode.
I'm still catching up on that. I'm still in the first season.
This episode in particular was a secret continuation of the Green Lantern, the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
To where we get to catch up with Razor and Kilowog, and we get to see Razor being one of the very few people to become a fusion lantern.
Nice.
Although his fusion doesn't particularly work, but you know.
Work as in not functioning, or is
He's
it
half red, half blue.
Dang. That's damn. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's like for the show purposes, it works. For comic book things, like if you know Lantern, it's like, well, if you're wearing a blue ring, the red ring doesn't work. But okay, there, bud.
Wisdom does not wisdom does not outdo anger.
Hope doesn't. Hope pretty much douses outrage. So
Right.
But other than that, it's just an interesting thing. We're kind of getting more things. We're learning who the big bad of the whole series truly is. The Zods are black in this continuity.
Interesting.
Yeah, the son of Drew is Lore, who's got that braided comb over fade. Like one side is bald, and then the rest of the braids combed over.
I was trying to figure it out. Like, wait, fade. Oh, okay. I was trying to figure it out.
So we get like a backstory there, and then we get like the Green Lantern stuff. We get Rocket being a really terrible mom, especially to her special needs son, who like the dad is like, hey, the school wants to like get him one-on-one tutoring, and they said they'll pay for it, and they can help him out. And Rocket's like, oh, so the school wants to stigmatize my son. I'm like, woman,
damn,
you're getting free care, individualized education paid for by the school, and you're seeing that as a bad thing.
Sounds hateful to me.
Like the dad is like all for it, and I don't know. She's just like, yeah, I'm trying to broker a peace treaty between the New Gods and the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah,
I don't have time for this. And the dad just like point blank calls like, you don't have time for your son?
Right. Just damn. That's heavy hitting. Damn.
I mean, so she like backtracks like, no. And then like he says like, yeah, the school says like, hey, we can do that. They can do this. They can cover the bills for it. It'll help him out. And all she's like, no, that's gonna make my son like an outcast, and he doesn't need that kind of treatment. And Dad's like, no, we need this for him.
but she's like, and it's kind of like that.
I don't know how to say this properly, but it's almost like she's in denial that her son is autistic.
Uh-huh.
And he very clearly is. And I think she just doesn't want to accept like that he's autistic or that he is a special needs child.
Yeah.
And she just wants him to live a normal life, but like the dad's like, no, he needs this help.
And she's sitting there like, and it's like
yeah, I gotta go deal with gods. Sorry.
Just dang, just the way. I mean, I know I'm looking forward to it, but just the way it sounds, just like damn, just hateful.
Yeah, it kind of is, but I was more on board for the Green Lantern aspect of this because it's, even though Green Lantern, the animated series, does not take place in the Young Justice universe, it's like some parallel version, which is like almost 1-for-1.
Okay.
So I'm not down for it. I just wish that D. Bradley Baker was Guy Gardner again, but that's just me.
Oh man. I'm gonna really try to binge watch get to that episode because I just gotta see it.
What else am I watching right now? I tried Lois and Clark, not too bad. It's getting better. It's getting good again. I don't think it ever got bad, but it's definitely getting better.
Wait, what show is this?
Lois and Clark. I'm just getting caught up.
Okay. I was like, wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. So which episode did you? What was the last episode you watched?
The one where Superman's kind of recounting what happened to him.
Oh, okay. I know you are.
Yeah. Other than that, anime-wise, Spy X Family is still one of the best shows out there.
I still gotta watch that. People have been telling me, but I was watching the that one with that one guy on Crunchyroll. Dang, what was it called? It'll come. Keep going. I gotta look it up.
Skeleton Night in Another World?
Nope, that wasn't it. Just keep going. It'll take me.
Love After World Domination?
Nope, wasn't that either. Give me.
Shield Hero?
Shield Hero, I am watching. That because season 2 just started, and that's been great. But no, that's not it.
No, Spy X Family is good. I got all caught up on the manga, so much like old Dragon Ball, it's the same thing. I made a really funny comp post because the new Dragon Ball chapter has Bardock wishing to Torumbo, the 2 Dragon Ball Namekian dragon that his sons thrive. It's like Torumbo must be hard of hearing. He didn't hear that S in sons.
Ranking of Kings. That's what it's called.
That thing.
Yeah, Ranking of Kings is what I thought. Someone told me about that, and that was awesome. But I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I said, Torumbo the Wish Dragon must be hard of hearing. He didn't hear Bardock say sons. I guess he only heard son.
I actually have to go. I have to go back and go read the manga for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball concerning the fact they're going to come and well, I shouldn't say anytime soon. We're still indefinite on superhero. Thank you, whoever decided to hack Toei Animation. But I'm sorry. What else you got, Joe?
I mean, just general stuff of the video games. Anime, I'm still keeping up with everything. I'm still watching. So, some sports anime, some rom-coms. The big hit that is Spy X Family. Yours great. I love the mom with super strength.
I got Spy X Family in my Crunchyroll watch list. I have just yet to start it.
There's only 2 episodes out now. Well, 3 probably by tonight.
Because I've kind of started Radiant. Radiant was another one someone told me to look at, and World Trigger was another one. So I've kind of got those in rotation.
No, I'm the one that told you about Radiant.
Oh, okay. Correction. You told me about Radiant. But yeah, I've actually continued that. And I did go back and watch that time I got reincarnated as slime because I was like, the title threw me off. But going back and watching it, I was like, oh, I should kind of stuck with this. But that's really all I got. But I see you got your comics queued up. So what else other news you got before we go to comics?
I think we covered everything basically. Let me look at the group chat.
All right. Yeah, but Ranking of Kings, that someone told no, I'm sorry. Crazy 8 the Great told me about that, and it's really good. I mean, it starts off a little bit slow, but it is really good toward the end. I refuse to watch Attack on Titan because I kind of feel like we'll never get a final part to the final season.
They keep gaslighting you guys something fierce.
Because we just want to see the end to the story. It's like, I don't know what happened. It's like the first season, cool. Aaron's trying to get to his father. Aaron's trying to get to the father's basement to find out how to defeat Titans. Finds out he has Titans powers. Cool. Second season, you find out everything you're told is a lie. Damn. Third season, y'all pretty much got betrayed by your own military. So it's like final season. It's like I got to see how the story ends. But they are kind of messing with us. I can't wait for Jujutsu Kaisen to come back because that was actually a good anime too. Burn the Witch was very good.
That needs a whole series.
Say what?
Burn the Witch needs a whole series.
It does, but I liked it. I really thought it was very well done. Fire Force needs to come back because that also
Fire Force needs to just finish properly.
No argument there. Bungo Stray Dogs. Thank you, Curly and Nerdy, for that suggestion. Loved it. What was another one I was watching? Well, I think it's kind of my current list right now. I'm not trying to overdo it. But yeah, those are the ones I've seen so far. But that has been, of course, as long as they don't get rid of my the Fighting Ippo, do not get rid of that Crunchyroll. I have this special announcement with Crunchyroll. Of all animes, please do not get rid of Jaime no Ippo because I love that anime. I still go back and watch it. Because I think aside from that, I think there's one more anime that does about boxing, but I just love that particular one. But Megalobox or Hajime no Ippo? Both. Although I was kind of disappointed in Megalobox's second season, but it was more like it really should have been a movie versus a season.
Yeah, I'm watching one of the soccer animes right now. Something Aoshi. What else have we got going on that we discussed about the Lightyear?
Mm-hmm.
We did that. Oh yeah, Digimon Survive gets a release date.
The dark side of Digimon. The dark side. I'm sorry.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has been delayed to 2023.
I can live with that. I can live with that. That's only just that. I think that's more dang it. Words are gone from my mouth today. Strategic. That's just strategic planning from Sony. I can live with that because they're being very careful about that particular IP. The fact that they're going to make it into part 1s and part 2s. I can wait another year to see this. I can wait another year to see Across the Spider-Verse, but I can live with that. Although Nicolas Cage, being rumored that he might be brought in for a Ghost Rider return would be very interesting, considering the fact of Midnight Suns still being pushed back to was it 2023 for the game Midnight Suns? Was it 2023?
They weren't going to make the Midnight Suns anything.
I want to say that's about right because I think that game got pushed back. But I can find out very quickly.
So yeah, Digimon Survive, which is the tactics game for Digimon, that will be dropping worldwide on. As soon as I can find it, because I just had it moved.
Okay.
In September of this year. It will include over 100 Digimon spanning several eras of the franchise. The game will take about 40 hours to beat, but if you want to get absolutely everything, you're looking at about around 80 to 100 hours. Actually, excuse me, not September, July 29th. It'll be a worldwide release for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I'll be getting mine on the Switch, probably, or maybe PlayStation 4. That way I can stream that. I'm not too sure.
Oh, and to answer that question, I was actually wrong. Midnight Suns is actually to be released in late 2022. So guessing around October, May, near the holidays. But I had to double check on that because that's one of those games.
A TV series?
No, the video game.
Oh, the video game.
Yeah, the video game Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I'm getting that most definitely.
Yeah, but if they ever do if they ever do the Midnight Suns run, you know what? I think they will. I will bet dollars to donuts they'll actually have a run along with the game release. I just wouldn't be surprised by that. I think they really will do it. But anyway.
So, like I said, unfortunately, Spider-Man got delayed to next year. That is kind of a bummer. But they do say pushing it back next year means we will have a shorter wait time between parts 1 and 2. Also, that Madam Web movie, which I have no idea who's asking for a Madam Web movie.
It's Sony. It's Sony trying to one-up Marvel.
Let me think. What other things? Kevin Conroy will be writing a comic segment in the upcoming DC Pride issue for 2022 called Finding Batman.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. Proud Family, Louder and Prouder is getting season 2.
Yep.
Sega is reportedly working on reboots of both Crazy Taxi and... I don't know how you do Crazy Taxi with today's music. I feel like you can't.
You kind of can, but you also kind of can't.
And they're also doing Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio.
I can see them doing Jet Set Radio just because you have a lot of anime / house music you can go into. So it kind of fits that. I can see that fitting. Now, Crazy Taxi, you can go one or two ways with that. But if we're doing Dreamcast titles, I'm just saying Power Stone, somebody, Rival Schools, anybody.
Capcom's got to do it first.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing I started listening to? My sister and I on commute. Squirrel Girl, the Unbeatable Radio Show, which is done with a full cast. It is with the cast of the canceled Hulu Squirrel Girl show. We really enjoyed it. Our favorite call-in caller was Magneto, who was trying to call Charles so he can get either Scott or Wolverine to come into his hedges.
Damn.
And the best part was he just kind of goes like, Charles, I know you're there.
Just damn.
It was almost like ye old X-Men Abridged. We used to stealing for Charles constantly.
You know I'm here, Charles. It's like why can I see that?
You'd be surprised how close you really are to that.
If you would be so kind to send Wolverine over.
Oh, I love it. It's like I needed him. Could you send Logan over? Scott could do it, but he leaves scorch marks.
I could see that, but still just damn.
It was very enjoyable. I cannot wait till next episode. I hope this goes for a while. It's free on most podcast stuff right now. Give it a listen. It's like only 30 to 40 minutes long.
I'll definitely have time tomorrow, so I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. But cool. I just now can't get that out of my head. Charles, you are here. It's like you can hear me. You can kindly send Logan over.
Other than that, I actually kind of took a break a little bit from streaming this week. It's because I got a little bit burnt out on Elden Ring at the moment.
Yeah.
I did pick up Relayer. I'm on episode 2. Those are about 2 hours apiece. So it's just more of Gundam, Sailor Moon Gundam.
I just can't get past saying that Sailor Moon Gundam. Cool. Oh, God. Sailor Moon Gundam. I was like, that's just as bad as you tell me about the Emerald Knight line. Which I got with. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I said that in and of itself, we're going to have to talk about that.
I feel like your line's going to get used again.
No. Mostly because DC continuity in the comics is very bizarre right now, so yeah.
Continuity being that they can't figure out what they want to do?
Continuity being, I don't know what comic is in the main timeline at the moment.
Well,
speaking of that, we'll talk about that right now. You can go ahead and cue it up.
Okay. Dang it. That's not what I wanted. There we go. All right. That did not work. Try it again. There we go. All yours, Joe.
So, yeah, we are talking about Green Lantern, number 12. This is written by Jeffrey Thorne, art by Tom Raimi and Marco Santucci. This is the finale to the first Green Lantern arc. John has become a cosmic being, pretty much just like the Emerald Knight himself. He also gets to talk to the source of the DC world, which is, strangely, Jack Kirby.
Yep.
And now we just get fallout of everything going on. So John still has all of his powers and has to make a choice and pick what his future state of being will be. Because they really like saying future state because that never happened.
Product placement.
John uses powers to restore some lost cores. So we have the return of the Blue Lantern cores, which of all things, Chip is one of them, and the Star Sapphires, which Sornik Natu's partner, Princess Iolande is now one of the Star Sapphires.
Yeah.
Neither are very happy about the cores. Hal gets his original ring back, meaning his little I made my own powering out of my own willpower is officially gone.
Mm-hmm.
He gets his powering that was originally given to him by... Wow, it's been so long, I don't even remember who gave him the powering.
Abin Sur.
Thank you. Who he got Abin Sur's powering again.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier Mullins gets her powering back, and just to me, it's like, I'm not looking like a generic Green Lantern. I'm going back to what I look like in Farsight.
When I read this issue, I was like, wait a second. So he absorbed the Godstorm to reset everything and put the lanterns and give everybody the lanterns' powers back. I'm like, where have we heard this storyline before?
Yeah, this was Lights Out.
I was gonna say, this storyline sounds very familiar.
Yeah, this was Lights Out when Kyle did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that we did get a shakeup. Simon is now the Ring Whisperer for all intents and purposes, so all the power rings that did not that came back without owners, he can commune with dead lanterns.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It gives him more of a big personality. We have no idea what's happening with Teen Lantern. Frankly, I don't care. Kyle's still out and about, stuck in space being experimented on.
Somewhere.
Want to see by Manhunters again, and Guy is still stuck on a planet where he's pretty much just Bender from that one episode where Bender becomes a god.
Yeah.
And then John picks what form he wants to take, and then it says John Stewart returns soon, and John Stewart and the Emerald Knights.
Yeah.
The problem with this is John's gonna die next week.
Yeah, that's true, but it's gonna be weird.
John is the Green Lantern that dies in the Death of the Justice League, which is leading into Dark Crisis. So
right.
I don't know what continuity this book is in.
So is it gonna be death with a question mark?
Well, first off, I want to know how they're killing somebody who has the same, frankly, I think he may be more powerful or on par with Kyle when he was an Ion.
Yeah. Well,
at the very least, he's on par with Kyle as the White Lantern.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, he's literally cosmic, source energy. So I'm gonna be curious to see how they actually come up with that. I mean, like you said, he is supposed to be quote unquote dead, but is John Stewart, as we know, is going to be dead, or is he going to be the Emerald Knight that lives on? So it's got to be a question mark on that.
First off, I don't understand if they are rebranding the Green Lantern title, or if we're going to have more of Joe and Simon, which I am actually okay with that. And then John's going to get his own book with other lanterns, where that's a spin-off title on his own. I really don't know what's going on, because I know that this book was not well received. I mean, it was received better than the Grant Morrison Green Lantern Spaceman on Patrol. Mostly because that book was incomprehensible. But there's so much mess in DC right now where you don't know what you need to be reading and what's in continuity, because like I said, next week the Justice League dies.
Right. That's what I'm saying is just where it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an interesting setup. This could actually be a good payoff, but at the same time, it's, you kind of go on that questionable territory. Like, you can actually screw up a comic book line this way. So I mean, I can see them going forward and saying John Stewart is dead. I can say that whole thing of John Stewart as you know him is dead. I am now the Emerald Knight, that kind of thing, which would be a little weird, but I can see how that could work. Because like you said, supposedly we're going to have at least 7 deaths again, because we decided to kill the Justice League again. And the same storyline again.
Yeah.
But
it's like the Batman Superman book, which issue 2 is fantastic. Go read that. Dan Mora once again puts out great art, and the exchange between Robin and Supergirl already making its way around Facebook.
I saw that.
It's fantastic. That's not in standard continuity line. That's a different Earth entirely, apparently. Because now it's confirmed that is Dick Grayson, just with pants.
Still, though.
So back to this book. This book is fine. I really enjoyed it. I only say it's fine because, as a whole, I didn't really agree with a lot of the story. The payoff was good. I do like the fact that we do get to bring back more of the Lantern Corps for the future down the road. I think the ones we're missing right now is Orange and Indigo.
Yeah.
John getting a power up, I'm always down with that. John is one of my favorite Lanterns. The source being Jack Kirby is well fitting.
Yeah.
I would have thought with everything going on, the source would have been George Perez, but Jack Kirby being the ultimate source in and of itself is spot on. We make Simon interesting and give him something a bit more to do. Joe has been nothing short of fantastic outside of Far Sector. Hal is Hal. We'll leave it at that. I said the book is just kind of got me mixed. I don't really have anything wrong with it, but at the same time, I'm just not ecstatic like I should be with the Green Lantern title.
I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad.
It just had a really rough start where like your whole plot is to do Green Lantern without them having powers. Like, what's the point of it being a Green Lantern book?
Yeah, fair point.
Moving right along. Nightwing. This is written by Tom Taylor and Renato Borges. This is continuing the team up between Wally and Dick as they are trying to take on Blockbuster. My favorite scene, and I texted this to Jared, where Wally's like, all right, let's move out. Do you want me to carry you cradle style or piggyback? And Dick just asks, like, look, you've gone to the future. You've met hundreds of your descendants. Do none of your flashes figure out any other way to carry people?
That's still funny. I read that a lot. I was like, he does got a point. You think y'all would have figured out a better way of doing this?
Jared's like, you just get a giant papoose and put people in it and carry them that way.
I mean, that would make sense, but then you have to. That's basically a cosmic treadmill with sticks. But no, makes point. I laughed about that one. But
I love this thing. I like that Wally is not happy and threatening people at super speed.
That was still funny. He's like, you made my very short list of people I hate. I was like, we said you've made my very short list of people I do not like, and therefore I don't have to worry about holding back. I was like, that's a dangerous speedster. He has no morals, and is basically disarming you and tying you up at the same time.
This is in standard continuity at very least. We do know that much. Considering the Flash can do a whole lot of stuff at different speeds, the next book probably takes place almost immediately after this.
Yeah.
I mean, the book ends with the final showdown coming for this arc where it's going to be Dick versus Blockbuster, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which really, in reality, is Dick fighting Tombstone.
Pretty much.
I know other Titans will be there. I mean, that's almost a guarantee at this point. I enjoyed this book a whole bunch.
Oh, I love the run. I do love the run with this, and the fact that Wally just comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh, my friend's in trouble. I was like, you basically have a speedster. You have a speedster literally on demand, and especially a speedster that has no problem. I was like, imagine a Flash on full tilt and no morals. Do you really want to fight something like that?
Yep, no. Moving on over, we got the Flash 781. This is written by Matt Ryan, Jeremy Adams is the writer. Pencils by Fernando Parsen, and inks by Matt Ryan. This is just a nice little catch-up thing. This is Wally getting to hang out with Wallace and teach him what it's like to, what it means to be a Kid Flash.
Yeah.
I like that he continuously calls him Ace because Wally just flat out refuses to call him also Wallace, considering it's his name. Even points out, like, our parents did a horrible job of naming two children from opposite ends of the family after the same person.
I literally called this issue was basically Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It had that vibe to it.
Oh yeah, it did. Art is fantastic. It's just Wally and Wallace trying to get the feel out for each other, and Wally telling us here's what a Kid Flashes do. Here's how I did Kid Flash. You do yours. If I need you, I'll call you. The biggest hangup is this is Wally trying to work out Wallace because, Wallace didn't take to a whole lot of people in his initial thing. And a lot of the times he still doesn't.
True.
Wallace also masterfully evades the most treacherous Flash trap of them all, being a babysitter for a giant Iris. It's just a good, dumb fun, and they get to have a small little adventure afterwards.
Yeah, I dug it. I really did like it. It's a nice little break, but like you said, it is setting up for the next story. But I dug it. I was like, dude, I could dang near hear the montage in my head as I was sitting there watching this. I'm not leaving class. Yes, you are. And you look out the window. Come on, dude. Come on, man. But I really did like it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great issue.
Moving on over, we got Trials of the Amazon, Part 6 of 7, Wonder Girl, Issue 2 of 2. This is written and drawn by Joella Jones, also with art help by Adriana Mello and Jordi Bell are doing colors.
I'm a little mad about this episode. I'm a little mad about this issue.
Yeah, me too. They solved the murder of who killed Hippolyta. It's exactly who you think it is if you've been paying attention to the comic. However, she doesn't tell you the reasons, which is super weird. And Diana somehow gets the girls are racing back to the tournament ground to tell all the heads of the Amazonian states, hey, the Doom Door is opening.
Right.
Meanwhile, Wonder Woman, and I love this joke, it's she knows, she busts out of the ground after her fight with Echidna, which we don't know what happens to Echidna.
Right.
And she busts out of the ground and just how did I get here before you guys? It's even she acknowledges this part makes no sense.
But I'm still mad. You would think I call that plot armor. But the whole thing, and I'm not gonna spoil and say who it was. But when they finally did say who it was, and I'm just like, here's your moment to shine. I need the monologue that sits there and explains your motives. I don't tell you anything. Wait, what?
She's just I did it, and my reasons are my own, and I'll tell you when I'm damn ready.
I was like, no, you didn't. Not after. I was like, wait a second. Not after the wonderful Supergirl broke it down and said, it couldn't have been you. It couldn't have been you. It couldn't have been you. So it leaves you. And I was like, yes, I like this. It's just confess, I did it, and I'm done. Wait, what? It's you just see everybody just go, wait a minute. You just gonna just leave it at that? Yeah. I don't gotta tell you shit. I was so mad.
That's a new character for her, though, but still.
I was so mad about that part where she's like, yeah, I did it. So what?
I did for her, Cassie getting Faruka's face and Faruka being mildly amused at the gall to accuse her.
Yeah. And she's like, what about me? It's like, what? Wait a minute. We're going to start with you. What about me? I was like, whoa, wait, hold up. You're about to be exonerated. Hold on. But,
so after that, the whole stadium collapses, the palace collapses, and then the only thing left standing is the ladies and the Doom Door, which the Doom Door better be something, whatever comes out of there better be amazing to build up, because you've already lost your murder mystery. So
yeah. And
whatever it is, better be huge. That's going to make Yara the new Wonder Woman.
It kind of took the wind out of sails a little bit. That's always like, how do you set that up? And you get to that point, and it's almost like, yeah, I don't gotta tell you. That did kind of take the wind out of my sails a little bit on that one. I'm like, You think it would have led up to something else, but I guess that's what the next. I guess that's going to be the final part. I think that's where I think the next issue is going to probably, hopefully, make up for that. I'm not going to call it a wonderful revelation. It was more like a whimper. Just kind of annoyed me a little bit. But then again, with that character, I shouldn't be surprised.
Does this thing really not have that part?
What are you trying to find?
Oh, no, wait, there it is. Okay, cool. Moving on over from Marvel, we got one thing from Marvel, which is X-Men 92, House of 92. So this is written by Steve Fox, art by Silva Espin, and colors by Israel Silva. This is retelling House of X, Powers of X, but if it was the Fox animated kids X-Men show, which I dug. I know you had some issues with it. The long and short of it is exactly the opening of Hawks and Pox. But I'm looking at the wrong screen. And they just kind of like treat it like an episode of the Fox Kids thing, meaning no blood, but since it's robots, Wolverine gets to go full ham. All the X-Men die one way or another. Just like in the thing. I like that they get resurrected in their clothes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do die pretty harshly. Instead of a mother mold, we have a master mold. I am unsure if Magneto actually dies in this or not. We do get to see a brief hint of Alpha Flight because of Vindicator and whatnot. And then we learned that the 5 have changed because, certain mutants on the current comic book version of 5 don't count. Can't be used here because they were not in these parts of X-Men. So we have Proteus, Tempo, Fabian Cortez, and let me look up the other names because I'm actually not too. Healer and Karma. Wait, that's Karma? Really? Huh, okay then. I did not realize that was Karma in that suit. So they become Krakoa. We do get to see some other guest characters. We do see that Destiny was never killed and not resurrected. We do see Iceman. Psylocke, strangely, Sabretooth has not been immediately put in the ground.
Yeah.
We see Dazzler, we see WizKid, which I'm confused why WizKid is there because WizKid was not part of 90s X-Men.
Unless they're trying to make it, unless they're doing a different paradox, but
I guess. We see a very, very brief in the background cameo of Morph. At least I'm gonna go with that's Morph. It's in the panel where Boom Boom, Colossus, and WizKid are waving at people.
Yeah, I'm going that. I'm saying that was Morph. As weird as that was. I think that was Morph.
We get to see Bishop and Cable bring in Deadpool, and I bet that's standard continuity Deadpool. Like, I can almost bet that is normal, everyday Wade Wilson Deadpool, not like some different version of him.
I can see that.
So, as this is 90s X-Men, a lot of stuff has not happened in the comics, meaning Gambit immediately tries to go with Rogue, and Rogue has to immediately remind him, hey, you can't touch me.
Right.
And Gambit's like, well, we have the resurrection protocols, so it'd be worth it. That's
Gambit. Gambit always thought outside the box. that is. I'm gonna think outside the box moment. It's like you could kill me. I could come back. Sounds like a win to me.
We will keep coming back until the whole deed is done, but it will be worth it. Then we are reminded that Jubilee is not with the team at the moment conspicuously because she has apparently died. Apparently, Jubilee died in a Sentinel assault prior to Professor Xavier getting the brilliant idea of, hey, Cerebro can back up mutant minds.
Right.
Magneto, it's like, Well, the child's loss is the reason we're all unified, so sure.
As
We
she's
get
sitting in a
a
bunker.
concert by Dazzler, who's in her. I'm unsure which version of she. Okay, yeah, she's in her new Excalibur attire.
Yeah.
So Charles and Magneto go into a hidden bunker. Wolverine's trailing them. And we learn that Jubilee is alive because in this continuity, Jubilee is our Moira. So her mutant ability is fireworks. Her secondary mutant ability is resurrection and timeline manipulation due to resurrection.
That's why I sat there and said this one was a little this was different. This was so different than what I pictured it would be when I first read this. That's why I was like, okay, I mean it's not bad. It's I get what they're doing. They're taking risks. And I can't be mad about that. If you're gonna tell the story of Krakoa, I get it. You gotta take some risks with it. It's one of those that'll probably grow on me as it goes along. But I mean it wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, this is a miniseries. I'm still digging the second Nomad with the Incredible Hulk video game sitting on her table.
But no, it was different to see Jubilee as a focal point. I was like, Jubilee's the linchpin to all this? Okay.
I mean, she was for a large part of X-Men 92.
Yeah. But I get it, though. I can't knock it.
So she's like, hey, I really don't feel like dying again. Just remember, when the machines come, we need to be watching out for Nimrod, like always.
Mm-hmm.
Logan finds the bunker, and we just get like more of the concert stuff. Jean and Wolverine, meaning we get the new bad guys of this thing, which is Trask, Gyrick, Lady Deathstrike, Donald Pierce. Trask has been condemned to be like Armin Zola. He's in the belly of a sentinel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how this ends, is the New Mutants of Humanity. I'm wondering if they're in the new Mother Mold or not. Then we just get like a whole bunch of honest to God, this looks like out of the Fox Kids Club magazine.
It really does.
We get to learn about who this version of the Five of. Like I said, it's Proteus Tempo, the Morlock Healer, Karma, which that one threw me for a loop, Fabian Cortez. We get to see the 3 rules of Krakoa, which is harm no mutant.
Mm-hmm.
Treat Krakoa the way you'd like to be treated. Make more mutants. Ask an adult to explain that one. We get some really bad jokes. And we get to get a did you know what happened to Krakoa? And then we get a scene for next issue where pretty much everyone's coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it. We also get a new scene of what's coming down the road. I'm really looking forward to Knights of X next week.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be good. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, this wasn't bad. It's just it just threw me off as far as the story, how the story they're trying to tell it. But like I said, maybe the next issue will definitely get me. But
I mean, I want this to just continuously live up to the 90s thing, meaning we get like one panel of Professor X screaming, one panel of Jean Grey moaning, one panel of Scott yelling Jean. Technically, I think Scott and Wolverine don't have issues anymore because it's Krakoa and they got that weird bedroom set up with Jean.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll show because it's the 90s cartoon.
Yeah, I think they're going to show that situation. Oh, man.
The only problem I actually have with this is that Gambit and Rogue aren't married. And I understand it's in this continuity they aren't, but it just seems wrong.
Without the in-law?
I mean, the in-laws are there, but like...
But the wonderful conversations they have.
Yeah.
You can't just not leave those out. That's just me. But That being said, thank you, Joe, for the comics. And always, as we usually say, definitely shout out to Rick's Comic Book City for supporting us. We definitely want to show them his love as well. If you are in the Tennessee area, specifically the Middle Tennessee area, you can check out either 3 locations: one at Fort Campbell, one in Clarksville, and one in Donaldson, to where you can definitely get your comic book needs. Definitely check them out. Support your local comic book stores if you can. And also, you can also check out your local libraries. Why? Because local libraries, they still carry the most up-to-date comics, anime, manga, and videos for all purposes. And even in 2022, library cards still cost $1, to where you can go ahead and check out that material and still get your comic book anime fix on. So if you're not able to support your comic book stores, definitely check out libraries, as you can still get your comic books from there. So as we wind this down, Joe, anything you want people to know what's going on and what you're doing, sir?
Yeah, I'll be plugging away on Elden Ring more next week. Also, hit up the YouTube channel. I am streaming at least once a week, once every other week. I finally got a chance to buy Relayer.
Cool.
So if you want to see Pretty Moon Sailor Gundam, it'll be on there. And I'm making an effort to actually try and tag each episode I'm doing, rather than just be a mess and you guys try to figure it out.
Sailor Moon Gundam.
I mean, the bad part is, the bad part is if I am doing some narration with this, I'm just calling things before they happen, because I've seen so much Gundam. It's like last night, it's like, oh, she's calling you sis. You're going to hop out of your mobile suit and make it self-detonate on your sister. Hey, that's exactly what happened. How'd I know?
The level of petty is palpable.
It's not that petty. It's just that, like, I know how this plays out.
No, not what you're saying. I'm talking about the whole thing of them calling them sis and then being like, ha, click. I said, what you said was fine. I'm talking about the fact of just imagining the whole entire scene and they do that is petty. That's what it's just like. You get that one moment, they say that one bro. It's like, you get that Oni-chan and it's just like, it sticks with them and it's like, gotcha, bitch, click.
Actually, it wouldn't be above him to actually say that exact phrase, because I'm doing this in English, because I don't think I can take that many high school girl voices in Japanese and keep going.
Nah, I wouldn't recommend it.
However, in the English one, I'm sitting there, like, your voice is way too deep for your body.
Oh god.
I'm not doing too bad. I've gotten 4 classes of the people. So I got a sword user, a rifle user, a bit user, and a tank.
Nice.
I'm interested to see because job classes can evolve. Upgrading the mecha I've started. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff. It's interesting thus far. I just kind of wish I didn't know what was going to happen beat for beat, because I've seen too much Gundam. I'm currently waiting for the other bad guy to get her mobile armor and then have a tearful fight.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the little sister to get her Psycho Gundam. And I'm waiting for the only guy in a mask to start going, aha, I betrayed you.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Oh, yeah. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I'm sorry. My mind went to Firefly on that moment. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. I wish you could say that. I'm still on Elden Ring and jump between that and Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise, because I'm a Final Fantasy fan and I figure I might as well give this a shot. But I'm still on that, along with my list of animes and mangas I'm following. But as Joe said, you can definitely find him. Is it still Joe Italian last name on Twitch, sir, or do we change that?
No, I'm too lazy to change anything.
And also his YouTube channel, Total Justice Gaming, especially where he has his show every Sunday. Are we doing a Sunday show this week, Joe?
We're waiting for Shadow to get his schedule stabilized before we pop back on.
Got you covered.
Because remember, he had to start working Sunday nights.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? That dude is going to be popular at the space that he is, that we cannot say, but just know we're rooting for you. Because we can't say, I'm not sure if we can say it on this podcast or not, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah, it's probably better that we don't do it. But with that being said, before we kind of wrap this up, we do want to do some shameless plugging. I do want to first shout out to the guys over at Geek Salad, Ari and Geek present Geek Salad, for allowing us to share our podcast on their page. Certainly appreciate that. You can definitely find them on Facebook as well as the YouTube page, as you're seeing right there. A couple of good guys that I met that were actually on the Backcast with us a few podcasts back. They do talk about everything pop culture, everything outside of it, so definitely give them a like and share, as they have a new episode that looks like it'll be appearing tomorrow at 9 a.m., but definitely give them a like and a share and subscribe. Also, shout out to my buddy Vaughn, Big BZA Dot on all socials, Ezra Miller on Facebook, who will be returning very soon, back live with new shows of Smoking Trailer Sundays and the REF podcast. But definitely check him out. Like I said, before Ezra Miller on Facebook, Big BZA Dot on all socials. Also, yours truly can be found at BlockFox447 on Instagram. I do post reviews of movies, video games, television shows, reviews, and also gym stuff because I do a couple push-ups. Also, at the same time, guys, I do like to post a lot of motivational, inspirational stuff. We've had a lot of, Joe can tell you, because he has definitely seen firsthand his profession. It has been a rough couple of years, and we're just in the year of 2022, we're trying to be positive. We're trying to introduce some motivation, some positivity, trying to change our moods, lift our spirits, and hopefully we can do that in 2022. The actual link that you see at the bottom that's trolling, actually, we can blow it up just a little bit bigger. You can actually copy and paste that into your browser, which takes you a link tree to have the Facebook and YouTube groups for all of our podcasts. How the fact we got here, Git Bit, and of course the Awful Hits podcast. You can definitely like, share, and subscribe. Let people know about it, especially this podcast as well. Because, like I said, if me and Joe can make this our permanent jobs, we would. Because trust me, we would have too much fun with this. But definitely let people know about all this. And like I said before, share the word. Aside from that, guys, we are still in the pandemic. Please wear a mask. Please get shots if you hadn't already got them. Please be very, very careful because, yes, the cases are coming down. But that does not mean, above all else, that we need to literally and figuratively get lazy. Protect ourselves, protect each other. Because trust me, a lot of people will be very, very grateful for it. What are you going to say, Joe?
Something just got brought to my attention from one of my friends.
Oh, what's that?
They are announcing what the big new Spider-Man event is this summer.
What is it?
Comics. It is called Dark Web. It will be kicked off on Free Comic Book Day with the newest issue of Spider-Man / Venom, where they will be kicking off Venom's new thing. Needless to say, Ben Reilly did not stay gone very long because Dark Web will be.
You called it.
Yeah. It's a picture of black with green slime smoke.
So they're going with Chasm. So Chasm is
Chasm's coming back already.
You called it. I'll give you credit. You called this one a mile long. I'll give you credit for this one. But definitely I'm looking at Free Comic Book Day. I always look forward to Free Comic Book Day. Not looking forward to taking these four boys into a comic book store tomorrow, but we're gonna say a prayer for my wallet. Anyway, any words, Joe, before we call it a night?
Yeah, just don't let them buy statues.
I could say that, but that'd be a lie. He's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Get Bit Podcast for tonight, guys. We hope to catch you again next Friday. Same Get Big time, same Get Bit channel. We are out. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will all get through this. Good night, guys. Peace.
Some days you just can't get rid of a folding chair.